Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Breakthrough Performance Podcast. This is episode 12. I am your host, Coach Evan. Got done coaching some amazing morning sessions today, while Xavier holds down the fort with the evening. And it's a great day of training. It's a great day to be training, to be working out. And I hope you guys got a good workout in today, or something fun. All right? A little bit of housekeeping before we get into our topic, which is closely related to the housekeeping. We have our 6-week transformation challenge starting on Sunday. So if you are listening to this and you are thinking about joining, you still got time. You still got time, okay? Other than that, we have our Breakthrough Performance Happy Hour, which I'm very excited for. A little bit of a last hurrah before we start our challenge. It is also a birthday party. Coach Eric's birthday is on Sunday, the same day we start our 6-week transformation challenge. So I hope to see you guys there, right? That's going to be from 6 to 8 at Six Harbors Brewery. This is adults only, so if you are a kid listening to this, unfortunately, you are excluded from this event for a few years. You can come down eventually. I'm sure we'll do this again. But yeah, that's what we got. So for today's podcast, I would like to go over what I'm personally doing for the 6-week transformation challenge. You heard that right. I am entering this one. Coach Eric is also entering this one. We're joining the team. We're getting some crazy results. Eric and I are going to be shredded by the time this is over. And I know you guys can too. If you are entered, a lot of us have had our meetings already going over exactly what our strategy is going into it. It's a little bit different for each person. It's really like kind of customized and individualized for you. So if we've had that already, then you know your goals. You know what you got to do. We just got to get it done, right? And I know you can all get it done. So for me, just to lay the groundwork, I am currently about 158 pounds. I am planning to go all the way down to 150. That's my kind of reach goal for this, okay? So we are setting goals of like, okay, I lost a little bit of weight, I lost a good amount of weight, or like, this is crazy town. I didn't think I could do that. That was insane, okay? Because whenever we embark on any kind of challenge or any kind of like little bit of a weight loss phase or anything like that, it's important not to just have a big goal that like we really, really want. It's important to also have some kind of a sustainable goals too, because a lot of the time you shoot for the stars and you land on the moon, and that's still great. I mean, you still made it pretty far to get onto the moon, right? So if you have a big goal, losing 15, 20 pounds, anything like that, maybe 30, maybe even 50, give yourself a pat on the back when you lose 5. Give yourself a pat on the back when you get down to 10. Even just 1, even seeing that scale move at all is going to be a tremendous win. And it's only going to build up momentum over time. But anyways, what I am planning on doing is the biggest challenge for me is going to be getting 8 hours of sleep each night. I am planning on averaging 8 hours of sleep each night. Now, for some of you, that might be cake. For some of you, that sounds impossible. I'm somewhere in the middle where it sounds a little bit difficult, but I think I can get it done, right? And the reason why that's so important is obviously sleep's great, but why is it important in the context of dieting? It's important in the context of dieting because all of our hunger hormones are thrown out of whack when we're sleep deprived, right? It becomes so much harder to make the right choices. And if we've had any conversation about dieting, about changing any habits in the kitchen, you know, but I am huge on using our environment to our advantage, okay? The thing that I like to say to everybody is imagine that you have a plate of cookies in front of you and you have a plate of grilled chicken and rice. And they're both cooked, they're both ready to go. What are you having if it's lunchtime and you want to cut and you want to lose some weight? Odds are, if you want to make the right choices and you find it difficult, it might be because that plate of cookies is close to you and that chicken hasn't been cooked. Okay, I'm going to say that again. It might be because the bad options are extremely convenient. Now, I hesitate to use the term bad, but I think we all understand what I'm saying there. There's nothing inherently evil about a plate of cookies, except for the fact that they're really tempting. But we tend to understand the kind of good options. We tend to kind of understand what good food is, right? So the first thing that we can really, really do to make it easier to lose weight is, again, just make the good options as simple as possible. if you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to make any change and you find it is like pulling teeth, well, maybe you need to take a step back because you don't really want to be feeling like you're pulling teeth. We're looking for sustainable changes here, right? Over at least for this 6 weeks. I mean, 6 weeks, it's not a long period of time, but you got to maintain that for a while. So, again, we got to find ways to make it easy. We got to find ways to not have to confront well, I don't have time to cook, so I'm going to have this. That kind of thing goes a long, long way to hold us back when we're talking about making good changes. So, what I am personally doing is, one, as I mentioned, getting in sleep is going to be huge for me because I know how much more energy I have to cook, and I know how much more of that willpower I have to kind of make the right choices. I'm going to be meal prepping, as I just mentioned. Now, when I think about meal prepping, I'm going to think about a few things. One, how can I make it so that it's not boring for too long? Two, how much protein is in there? Three, how much fiber is in there? And then four would kind of just be how much volume does this food have? Okay. So my classic meal prep dish that I'm going to be having every day, and I hope that you guys can take something out of this, is a protein source, a large amount of vegetables, a little bit of carbohydrates, and some flavor. Okay? Because what we need to understand about hunger is that you are going to be hungrier if you consume a large quantity of calories and carbohydrates versus if that is in fats or in proteins. Okay? Fats and proteins digest much, much slower than the carbohydrates do. And it's really important for us to keep that in mind. Okay? Because it's not just about getting your protein in, it's not just about keeping the calories low, it's about finding a way to make it easier to do that. Again, this is going to keep tying back into the whole discipline, willpower conversation here because I think that the people who succeed the most in the weight loss, getting shredded, all of that, the people who succeed the most tend to have the easiest time setting up their environment to make the right choices easy. Okay? Again, what's easier for you right now? Cooking a plate of grilled chicken or DoorDashing Domino's? I don't know if you can DoorDash Domino's, but you get what I mean. Obviously, not cooking is always going to be easier. Obviously, the thing that's right in front of you is going to be easier. So don't be afraid of the microwave, right? Let's go back into what I was talking about just a second ago, which is going to be my big meal, right? It's going to be a protein source, which for me is tofu. You guys don't have to eat tofu, but I eat a ton of it. I know Coach Xavier eats a ton of it as well. Coach Eric is afraid of it, and that is okay. You can be afraid of tofu. It's fine. Big thing of veggies, which for me, it tends to be some broccoli, some peppers and onions, some other stuff. I get a random thing of vegetables, random thing of frozen vegetables, and I chuck it into a container, and I make a little stir fry with this. I do a chickpea pasta, and then I do some chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. Right? Those four things together is a delicious meal, and a stir fry gets a nice texture to it. Okay, so I will do that for about 4 days in a row. I will cook one huge thing that I can have for 4 days straight. Now this ties back into when I mentioned earlier, keep it from getting boring. You want to have a kind of template for your meal that you can kind of plug and play with different ingredients to make it, again, not boring. Just because we went over a meal doesn't mean you got to have it every day for 6 weeks straight. That's kind of crazy. You can do that, certainly, but why if you don't have to? So now that we kind of have that template of the protein, big thing of veggies, a little bit of carbohydrates, you can replace that tofu for a chicken. You can replace that tofu for a lean cut of steak, a lean cut of ground beef. The veggies, you got an infinite number of vegetables out there. I don't know if the number of vegetables is infinite, but it's pretty high at least. I can't name all the vegetables, and you probably can't either. Same thing with the flavorings, right? You can get creative with it. For me, I rotate between what I will refer to as a kind of like Mexican style influenced stir fry that I have, again with that chipotle sauce in there. And I will have that for a few days straight, and then I'll switch over to what I refer to as my Asian stir fry, which is going to be very similar. All right, it's tofu, but then I switch out the veggies for broccoli, snap peas, some water chestnuts. I don't even know what a water chestnut is. I know I like it though. Some baby corn, and then I'll use like a General Tso sauce. And again, that meal right there is going to be a ton of protein. It's going to have a ton of fiber in it from the vegetables, and it's going to be extremely satiating because the volume of food is high. Now, that is the largest meal that I'll consume during the day. That is going to be typically my dinner. Now, for breakfast and for lunch, I'm trying to get shredded, guys. I'm not eating very much at all. You guys don't have to diet extremely hard, but I am going to share exactly what I'm doing. Maybe it could give you some motivation because we're all struggling through these 6 weeks together. In the morning, I'm going to be doing a protein bar and some fruit. For like a lunch, I'm going to have a protein shake, maybe a little bit more fruit, and then I'm going to have that dinner. Here and there, I'll have maybe a cup of like a protein cereal and some milk, some non-dairy milk. But yeah, that's about all that I'm eating, guys. It's not that much, but I only got to maintain this for 6 weeks. And then I will be at my goal. And then from there, we're going to re-strategize, talk about maintaining or maybe not really maintaining. It's totally up to you. We're not telling you have to be at a certain body weight, but these are your goals that you have, right? In addition to that, I am going to be increasing my step count greatly. Step count is the most underrated way to burn calories. If you go from 5,000 steps a day to 10,000 steps a day, that is a couple hundred extra calories burned just from walking a little bit. That's only about 30 minutes of walking. You could do that easy. I am going to be going on the Stairmaster 3 times a week for about 30 minutes each. I am going to be training jiu-jitsu quite a bit, which if you don't know what jiu-jitsu is, that's totally okay. Just know that you burn a lot of calories doing it because it is very hard to do. As we all are agreeing to do, I will be consuming 0 alcohol. Yes, I do occasionally drink alcohol, but not very much. So on this challenge, I'm going to have absolutely none. And honestly, it is kind of as simple as that, guys. I'm going to be sleeping 8 hours. I'm going to be getting a gallon of water in a day. I laid out that meal plan, and that's going to be extremely consistent. And that is kind of the bedrock for all of this. The foundational kind of thing here is what we're eating. Everything else is a little bit of icing on the cake. Sorry to use a cake analogy here, but we are not going to be eating cake for 6 weeks, but you catch my drift. I'm going to be increasing my activity levels by quite a bit, and that's about all that I'm going to be doing, all right? So I hope you guys enjoy this. This was a short one today, but again, that is what I am going to be doing for the 6-week challenge. I know that we are all going to crush it. Huge congratulations to Peter and Paul, our previous 2 winners, but it's about time to get a new one. Peter says he's going to win this one, guys. Are we going to let Peter win twice? I don't know. That's kind of crazy to me. Anyways, that is all for this episode. Again, we do have our Breakthrough Happy Hour on this Friday, which is also Coach Eric's birthday party. And we have our 6WT kickoff on Sunday. All right. Hope to talk to you guys soon in the gym. Coach Evan out.